Hello everyone and welcome to Werven's World. Today I would like to talk about trade routes in Endless Legend. Now trade routes can give you a lot of dust as well as science in the game, and they're well worth investing into. So if you want to see how much money you're making from trade routes, you only have to click here on your Empire screen and you see your trade route income. As you can see, at the moment I'm making 50 dust as well as 50 science. When I click on show trade routes, it gets basically broken down into the small details in secondary trade routes, in trade routes with my allies, as well as trade routes within my empire. So I'll go into a bit of more detail how to get those and what this means. So first of all, how do we get trade routes? Well, we need to research something. So let's go to the research screen. And then there is a technology here in the second era called Imperial Highways. And the effect of it is that it creates roads, which is done automatically between cities that are in adjacent regions, as well as giving you the possibility to create a building, basically an improvement called right-of-way. Right-of-way you can build in your cities. For example, here I have a city that doesn't have it yet, right-of-way. And it's basically used by trade routes. It also gave some other bonuses to movement. But for example, it's not very useful for me here to build it in this city because this region is not adjacent to any other region at the moment, so it wouldn't do me any good, because trade routes are only established if the regions are actually adjacent, except for one exception, which is by sea, and I'll get to that in a minute. So it's not really useful for me to build it here. Now, this one is not adjacent to my own empire, however, it can create a route through my allies here. So in order to do that, I need to basically be friendly with them, and they also need the right-of-way technology. If they don't have it, you can always do some diplomacy with them. There. And you can give them a technology, and then you can give them those highways. And they might build it, and then you are in luck, because then you can start making a lot of money. So how exactly does it work? Well, as you can see here, like this, you don't really see the roads that clearly. But if you zoom out a little bit, you see these black lines, and those are actually the trade routes. So if you click on a city, you can see the trade routes it has. So this one here actually has two trade routes, one there to this city and one all the way there. Oh yeah, it's a bit annoying. If you scroll, then it goes away there. So it has a trade route here to my city here and one to there. Now this city actually has two trade routes, and this one here has one maximum, and this one here also has one maximum. In order to increase your maximum, you can research other technologies. For example, here in Era 3, there is a highway outpost which has caravanserai, which gives you +1 trade routes max on city if you build it there. I'm not 100% sure actually why this one now has two trade routes. Maybe because it's my first city. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'll annotate the video once I'll find out. It's probably because it's my first city that I've built. Anyway. So now we know that we have a maximum amount of trade routes, which you can see here, and that it can connect to different cities. Now, what does it do? Well, we can go to our trade route screen, and we can see that within my empire, I have two trade routes. One from Orden to Karamar, and one from Karamar to Harel. So Orden to Karamar is this one here, and it's pretty long. And then we have the second one, which was from Karamar to Harel, which is from there to there. So as you can see, even though Orden connected with Karamar, Karamar does not count already as having a trade route in that sense. It doesn't use up its trade route for that, because then Karamar can then make a trade route to Harel. The trade routes themselves get decided on by the computer. You can't really do anything about it, but it always tries to choose the trade routes that give you the most money. And money is mostly influenced by distance, as you can see here. From Karamar to Harel is actually quite far. It's 38, while Orden to Karamar is 23, and thus I gain more dust as well as science from this trade route. So that's nice. Then we also have our trade routes with the Ardent Mages. And that's decided on to be from Ordan to Caeng and from Harel to Caeng. And all difficult words. Caeng is here. So one goes from here to there and one goes from there to there. As you can see here, this one as well as that one. And now something interesting happens. As you can see here, this trade route first goes through my Ordan city, and then it goes to this one. So what exactly does that do? Well, that actually gives you an extra bonus. As you can see here in trade routes, there is a secondary trade route. At the moment, it gives me 3.2 gold. This is decided on by any trade route that crosses other cities of yours, which are not the beginning or end point of your trade route. So I have a route here, and it passes a city which is not the beginning or the end point of that route, and therefore I gain a little bit of dust extra. So it's very good to have very long routes through your own empire to other things, because then you gain a lot of secondary bonuses as well. I can imagine, although I'm not 100% sure, that this city here from the Ardent Mages will also get a bonus from my trade route, but I'm not 100% sure about that, because it will pass through their city as well. So I said that there was an exception on that regions did not have to be adjacent for trade routes. And that's true. You will need a specific science for that. You will need this here, the cargo docks. And you need 2 regions that have cities which are next to a sea. And that sea needs to be able to be connected. Because there are basically invisible roads on this map, then we can start building docks. So as you can see here, I'm already building docks on this one, and this one hasn't built its docks yet. So I will put the docks in, and I can basically choose where I want them to go. So I'll just choose here, and it might actually have been better there because then it would be longer. Anyway, now it's building there. It will cost me some turns, so I'll be back once these cargo docks have finished. Alright, I have finished my docks now, and as you can see, I also exchanged maps with my ally here, and that really boosted my trade empire. You can see the trade routes here, and most of the trade routes are actually with the Ardent Mages, because, well, it's just such a good long distance between me and them that it's way better to trade with them than it is to trade within my empire. Of course, that will also give them money. So if you don't want to do that, you shouldn't be at peace with them. But as you can see here, there's a nice big trade route going that way, and so on. So now I'm really getting quite a lot of money for each trade route. As you can see, 436 per turn, as well as 200 science. So that's nice. This one also has docks, but I didn't decide to use them. And that's probably because you need them. I forgot about that. Each ocean has its own tile as well. As you can see here, this black border, that's kind of the border of this ocean. And each city that you want to trade with a cargo dock, needs to have a dock adjacent to the same ocean. And that wasn't the case in this case, because this one has it in this ocean, while this one has it in this ocean. So what can we do about that? Well, not much. So I also built a cargo dock here in this one. And this one is actually adjacent to the same ocean. And as you can see, there is actually a route going here. However, Harel is not the endpoint of this route, and that's what makes these cargo docks so nice. I now connected this to Harel, then the trade route goes all the way through here, through here, through here, and all the way there. And it actually has 2 trade routes because I built a caravanserai, and that increased my trade routes by 1. So by doing that, I now have a humongously long trade route that also gives me some extra money because it passes through 2 of my other cities. So yeah, that's really how you start raking in the dough, because basically I get 436 from trade routes, which is a lot, which is really, really a lot of money per turn, as well as getting extra science, so my science gets way quicker as well. Not all factions are equally good with trade routes, especially the roving clans get some nice bonuses within their main quest that basically allows them to get a lot of research regarding trade routes for free. For example, here, these trader tents, if I fulfill this quest, it will give me 50% extra dust on trade routes, which of course is really, really nice. So yeah, the roving clans basically are one step ahead regarding trade routes. Trade routes can be very much enhanced with research. For example, here there is the highway outpost, of course, which gives me 50% more dust on city trade routes, as well as giving me extra trade routes. So that's really, really useful. I also got those traders tents for my roving clan quest, which gives me another 50%. As you can see here, another trade route max, and 50% more science on trade routes. So investing in trade routes can be very worthwhile. If you want to see, well, what to research for trade routes, basically look for this kind of signpost icon. That kind of shows you that this research thing has something to do with trade routes. So I hope this video helped you in understanding why trade routes can be very, very worthwhile to look at. And I hope you found the video useful, and see you next time.